A lot of people think that when someone has really well-defined big glutes, then they bought them. They got them done. It's a BBL. It's not real. And the internet is full of a lot of quick fixes, a lot of surgical enhancements, a lot of before and afters. And the truth is, you can absolutely build big defined glutes from going to the gym and just working hard, lifting right, eating right. And I know because I built mine from scratch. No surgery, no shortcuts, just years of consistent training, proper eating, and just a lot of trial and error. So today I'm taking you through the exact blueprint of the things that helped me grow my glutes, and not just grow them, but actually sustain that growth. So when I started lifting, I had zero curves. I was skinny, a little insecure, and just kind of scared of looking too bulky, if that sounds very familiar. But I had a friend who once told me, you would look incredible if you had a little bit more muscle. So that's when I started strength training, and I had no clue what I was doing. I was a beginner, just like everybody else, trying to find my way. And I thought squats were the answer to everything. I had no idea about glute anatomy, how to properly activate your glutes, programming, technique. And my form was, of course, very rocky still. But once I understood the formula, everything literally changed. So here's what worked for me. One was training my glutes at least 2 to 3 times a week, and actually separating my glute training from my leg training. Okay, so instead of me just throwing everything and combining my quads with my glutes and everything, I would just have a separate day specifically just for my glutes. And I had to understand that my glutes were made up of 3 separate muscles. So I used to just kind of, like I said, just do squats and think that that was enough to target my glutes, but it wasn't. Okay, so our glutes are made up of 3 separate muscles, and you have to target and isolate those muscles separately in order to see the kind of growth that you want. And when I began to do this, that is when I started noticing that my glutes were actually growing. Number 2 is progressive overload. Like, you cannot train with the same weight every single time. Like, if you are still lifting the same amount of weight or maxing out the same amount of weight that you were maxing out 6 months ago today, then you are not progressing. You are not loading your glutes. Your muscles need that constant stimulus in order for it to grow. And when you have gotten comfortable with a specific amount of weight and you're not really pushing yourself any further, then you're not really making room for any new growth. A lot of women are scared to lift heavy because we have the idea that lifting really heavy weights equates having too much muscle. But that's literally exactly what you need in order for you to see the growth that you're looking for. You need to pile on the weights. Now, I don't mean going super heavy to the point where you are no longer in control of the weight, your form is horrible, or you're putting yourself at a risk of getting injured. Of course, you're supposed to go at your pace and just gradually put on the weights. Okay, so you're not going to just slap on 20, 25 kg every single time you want to go up. You can start off by increasing your weights by 2.5 kg or 5 kg. So it doesn't have to be a crazy amount, but any little progress is still progress. Also, I started sticking to 8 to 12 reps with proper form. For me now, form over weight any day. I still progress, of course. Like I said, progressive overload is key. But I used to be the type of person who I felt like I always had to prove a point to myself that I was strong. So I would like go super heavy and just do like 1 rep or 2 reps or even 3. And those 3 reps weren't even decent reps. Like, my form would be compromised. I would not really be in the best, most comfortable position during the exercise because the weights was too heavy. And I find myself enjoying my workouts a lot more when I am in control of my technique and my form. Okay, so if anything is going to compromise my form, for me, it's not worth it. So I started doing about 8 to 12 reps with proper form. Another thing that really works for me was combining my heavy compound lifts with proper isolation work. So the squats are great. I'm not saying don't do squats. Squats are good. I believe that doing squats at least once or twice a week should be part of everybody's strength training plan. However, combining your compound lifts with key isolation exercises are also very important. So you do your squats, but make sure that you're also doing your hip thrusts or your glute kickbacks or whatever isolation exercise that you prefer to do for your glutes. You can combine those. And of course, another thing that worked is giving my body proper time to rest. When I first started training, I was kind of doing lower body back to back consecutively. So I'll train lower body today, I'll do lower body the next day, and then the next day. And the key to growth is rest. Your body and your muscles specifically needs to recover from the workout. So if you have done legs or you've trained glutes today, then you shouldn't be training glutes the next day. Rest, do another workout like your upper body, or just take a day off and give your body at least 24 to 48 hours for it to recover before you target that muscle group again. And lastly, and I feel is one of the most important, your food. You eating, you actually have to eat. You see a lot of girls who go to the gym and they train hard, but they eat like once a day. So you cannot expect this massive glute growth or to build really big, lean, defined muscle mass if you're not actually feeding your body, okay? Your muscles need those calories in order for it to grow. It's just part of the game. So if you're somebody who finds yourself struggling to eat meals, you can break down your meals into like smaller portions. I feel like a lot of people think that they need to be eating these really big portions of food every single time that they sit down to eat, and that's not the case. I typically eat like 5 small meals during the day, and I kind of just space them out every 2 to 3 hours. And I don't force myself to like eat big meals because it's not really necessary. Number one, you need to focus on making sure that you're getting enough protein in your diet. So for me, what works is also having some type of supplements to supplement my diet. What I use is whey protein, and that has helped me during my entire workout journey, okay? Because I'm somebody who also struggles to eat. I have a very fast metabolism and I struggle to put on size, but I have been able to do that with the use of certain supplements or just making sure that I am eating protein. Okay, so I try to have some type of chicken or lean beef with every meal, whether that's eating breakfast with some type of protein, lunch and dinner, and then I have my snacks during the day and my whey protein to supplement my diet. So keep that in mind. You do need to eat. And if you are struggling with food or you don't know what to eat, then make sure you grab my digital cookbook. I have over 30 recipes in my cookbook, and I curated this cookbook specifically for people who want to add a little bit of variety to their meals, and they also want to eat healthy at the same time without it being boring. So make sure you click down below, grab my digital cookbook. And if you are struggling with your training, you don't know what workouts to do, you don't know how to structure your training programs, then make sure that you check out my workout programs as well. That is also going to be linked down below in my store. Another thing that I did that worked for me and helped me see the most growth in my glutes was reducing the number of exercises that I used to do per workout session. At the beginning, I was a girl who used to do 10, 11, 12 exercises for her legs because I thought that more was more. If you do more exercises, then you see more growth. And when it comes to fitness, it's actually the opposite. Less is more. Keep your workouts as minimal as possible. So I would say the sweet spot is usually having about 4 to 6 exercises per muscle group. So if you want to see glute growth, you don't need to do 10 exercises. You don't need to do 10 glute workouts. Just pick your favorite 4 to 5 exercises and do those repetitively, consistently with progressive overload. And that is how you can actually monitor your growth. So we're headed to the gym now, and I'm going to show you the exercises that I do currently for my glutes. And these have given me the results that I have now. Now, of course, everybody's preferences are different. However, there are key isolation exercises that I feel like everybody should be doing if your goal is to grow your glutes. Okay, granted, not everybody loves to squat, but I feel like if you're trying to grow your glutes, you should be doing hip thrusts, for example. You should be doing some type of key isolation exercise because these are the exercises that really targets your glutes in the best way. All right, we made it to the gym, and I am starting off with a 15-minute warm-up on the treadmill. Cardio is so important, and you are not going to lose your gains because you do cardio. I do cardio usually before my workout, especially when I'm training my lower body, because anything cardio after a lower body session, it's not gonna work for me. So I like to start off, warm my body up a little, get my blood flowing, move those joints with a warm-up, and this is one of the best ways to keep your waistline snatched and tight. I like to do an incline of about 7 or 8, and then I'll start off with a speed of 4 or 5-ish, and then we're gonna work our way up. Let's get sweaty. All right, we're back. Now, let's talk about nutrition and recovery. Glute growth starts in the kitchen, okay? I know you hate to hear it. We love food. I love food. I have such a bad sweet tooth. But when it comes to actually having goals, you need to be able to sacrifice something for something. So like I said, glute growth starts in the kitchen. You can't be eating like a rabbit. I mentioned it before. You cannot be eating one meal a day and then looking at yourself in the mirror and wondering why your booty isn't growing. It's because you're not feeding your muscles. I have, along my journey, learned to eat enough. I aim for 1 gram per pound of my body weight. So currently, I think I'm about 67, 68 kilograms. I haven't weighed myself in a long time, but the last time that I weighed myself, I was about that. Also, I don't fear eating carbs. Carbs are not your enemy. I say it all the time, but a lot of people still have that fear that if they eat carbs, then they're just going to get fat, and that's just not the case. Carbs for me and in general for our body is what fuels our body. That's what fuels your workouts. And my post-workout meals are a non-negotiable for me. As soon as I finish my workout, I have my whey protein shake. I don't typically eat before a workout. I do train fasted. I know a lot of people are against that, but do whatever works for your body. Okay, for me, if I eat before my workout, I'm most likely gonna throw up. That's just how my body is, and this is what I've been doing for the past 7 years, and I'm used to it now. But if you must eat before your workout, please do, okay? I don't want you fainting in the gym. So if you're the type of person who has to have a meal before a workout, do that typically about 30 minutes before your workout. Give your body proper time to digest. I absolutely hate having to train with my stomach full. Lastly, when it comes to recovery, I make sure that I'm getting enough rest. So I'm sleeping well and I'm staying hydrated. I only drink water. I don't drink juices. I don't drink alcohol. So I feel like that kind of just was perfect for me. I've never really had that habit, so I don't have to worry about that. But if you're the type of person who does like to indulge on those things, I would say reduce those things to probably like once a week. Make sure that you're mostly drinking water. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Your glutes are not going to grow when you are sore and depleted. So just make sure that you are staying on top of your food. And it's okay. And I'm not gonna sit up here and say that I'm perfect with my nutrition, because I'm not, okay? I mess up sometimes, but I don't really look at it like a mess up. It's just part of being a human being. But the most important thing is knowing when to pull yourself back and getting yourself back on track. And I think that's the one thing that I've always been really, really good at. So I have built my glutes the long way, the hard way, but the right way. So I want you to ditch the shortcuts, trust the process, do the work. Your dream body is already within reach. All you have to do is just lift for it.